and welcome back to my channel. My name's Alana and today you'll be joining me with my July book haul. Now I want to try and make this more of a rapid fire book haul because otherwise I just end up talking for way too long. So we're gonna set a timer and hopefully I get it done before the timer ends. So I'm gonna set a 10-minute timer and we're going. Okay. So the first two books I have to talk about that I'm hauling are two self-pub ones as well. So I'm really intrigued for these. The first one is C.J. Boomer's The Pharaoh's Curse. I don't know a whole heap about this one, but what I have seen of it is Egyptian vibes, pharaohs, a curse. You're getting that from the cover already. Sounds like we have a sort of reluctant protagonist who doesn't really want the throne per se. And I'm guessing things go from there. So I'm loving the cover of this one. For a self-pub book especially, this is stunning. The author was also kind enough to supply me with a copy to read, so hopefully once I have done so, I can let you know what I thought. And then I purchased a bind-up copy of The Queendom of the Seven Lakes duology by A.B. Endicott. This is very popular on Instagram, and I've been seeing a lot of people that I follow and whose book reviews I trust raving about this. So I'm very keen for this. Like I said, this is the bind-up of the two books in the duology, and it's been re-released in this really beautiful cover. So the vibes I'm getting from this one are assassins and political sort of struggles and intrigue, and I love fantasy, and I think I'm going to love this one. Next up we have the book club pick of the month, and for July it was actually my pick, so I chose Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer. Now if this is anything like Call It What You Want, which she has also written, I just think I'm going to love it. I'm currently 84 pages into it and already sort of pulling on the heartstrings a little bit. This is a YA contemporary that deals with loss of a family member and everything that's attached with that. It starts off with a girl who is writing letters to her mother who has passed away as she's at her graveside, and a boy reads it and writes back. And then there's this to and fro that ensures between them from there. Also really digging this cover. This is a month for the great covers. Then the next two books I sporadically bought for the reading rush, and they are Baba Yaga's Assistant and Deathnote. I ended up reading this in one sitting. It's amazing. It has really beautiful illustrations as well as really great themes and messages at its core. Again, we're dealing with death of a family member, but we're also dealing with the new element of blended families, of folklore and mythology, and also this really uplifting theme of what is lost or broken will be remembered, and we can move on from certain hard instances and do better. So loved this one. With Deathnote, I was meant to read this. I didn't read this. I watched the movie and cheated instead. But from the few little pages that I've read already, I am still really keen to continue on with this. Just the concept of this manga really intrigues me. So hopefully I will be getting around to this one soon. This is probably the side that you want to be seeing instead of the back cover. But yes, Deathnote. Then I picked up a copy of White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. I have been wanting to read this one for a while. I think I have actually started it. I am 20 pages into this, and from what I've gathered so far, this is a white woman's perspective on race and white people's reaction to racism and the conditioning that goes into all of that as well. It says on the front cover, why it's so hard for white people to talk about race, and I am hoping that this will be an insightful read and to continue the conversation. So this one is very high on my priorities list as well. Then for a little bit of fun, I brought home Read This If You Want to Be YouTube Famous. And the main reason I bought this is because one of my favorite YouTubers for bullet journaling, Amanda Rachel Lee, actually has a segment in this. I'm flicking through to try and find her. Where is it? Oh, there. So this is her little addition into this book. I'm just super keen to read not so much the tips on how to make it, but more people's stories and their space on their platform and their journeys essentially. Then I bought The Safe Place by Anna Downs. This is a debut thriller novel by an Australian local author, and it sounds great. I have actually read this too, so why am I saying it sounds great? It was great. In this one, we follow an actress called Emily who is very down on her luck, and she's basically in the pits, and then this job offer comes along that seems too good to be true, which we should all know by now, reading thrillers. It's too good to be true. I think the writing style of this author is what really captivated me with this book. It's very beautiful, it's very clear and easy to read, but there were certain instances where certain sentences really struck home with me, and very strong point of this book. If you haven't read a lot of thrillers like myself, I find like this is a good gateway book into the genre because it's just a really good starting point. Like, it's not super gruesome, it's not the most original thing, but for what it is, it did a great job. And then the last book that I bought in the month of July was The Everlasting Rose by Donielle Clayton. I have been meaning to get my hands on this for the longest time. I read The Bells, which is the first book in this series, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago now, and I don't know why I haven't bought this sooner because I absolutely love that first book. It's YA fantasy, and in The Bells, the first book, we follow our main protagonist who has this magical ability to change the features and the look of a person, and she is hired by the ruling royal family to do this. I really love the central themes in the original book, which I'm sure will carry through into this one, of beauty and how not one particular type of beauty is the be-all and end-all. There are so many different ways to feel beautiful in yourself, and those themes, man, they got me. So in this one, we're following on with Camelia's story, and I am so keen. I am so very keen. Even though I don't read YA fantasy a lot anymore, I really think that because I love the first one, like, I have very high hopes for this, and I really hope it lives up to them. So that's it. And just in time as well. So those are the, let's see,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 books that I bought or acquired in the month of July. I did so well last month, and then this month it exploded again. I don't have a problem, you have a problem. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and that's gonna be it for today. So I will see you in my next one. Bye!